Hey guys, how's it going? What we got here is a 18 volt Ryobi circular saw. Long story short, it's really old. It couldn't cut from the day I got it, and I was cleaning out the garage and I was literally about to throw it away when I was like, you know what? We're gonna see what we can do with this guy. I have a industrial gas weed whacker that I've attached a saw blade to, circular saw blade, and its nickname is Gacy. Well, I'll introduce you to Gacy in a little bit, but what I kind of thought about doing was taking this one and making like a baby Gacy, something a little lighter. Just go out, cut a few tree branches, that kind of stuff. Not have to make as much noise depending on where you're at. I'm out in the woods a lot, so it'd be nice to just carry something out here like this that I just gotta grab a couple things with, versus lugging out a huge weed whacker and then having to make all the noise of starting it and running it, so on and so forth. So I already started taking it apart. I didn't want to get too far before I started the video. All I did was the basics, got some of the covers off, took the outside screws off, and then I'm going to dive in here a little bit farther. I'm going to get all this off right here, all this off, and then we'll come right back, because you guys don't want to see me do this. If you're attempting this obviously, taking this kind of stuff off isn't going to scare you or stop you from doing it. So we'll be there in just a sec. Alright, here we go, we're back. So, got her apart. Here we've got this cute little motor, and we've got this cute little transmission to go with it. So, unfortunately, they have actually made it so the bearing is pressed into the plastic frame. That's somewhat depressing. I was kind of hoping it was one solid piece that would come out, being that that would be a little more sturdy, but then again, I guess, what are you really cutting with these? So we have this part of the frame, or the plastic piece, is actually housing the little transmission. So what we're actually going to do is just modify our plans just a little bit. Since we have the base already in there, and then we've got the screws for this part of it to kind of hold it all together, what I'm now thinking we're going to do is just carefully cut from here to here, and maybe from here to here, or we'll even leave that because then we can tighten it back together. And then use this whole thing as a whole, and then also in addition, we've kind of got some extra places to mount some screws to attach it to a pole, and then we've also got some nice plastic to protect this cute little motor right here. So I'm going to do some shaving and trimming on that piece. Then right here we got our on-off clicker. Don't forget to save your safety switch, because either we'll have to override that or figure out how to incorporate it in there. And then right here is just the battery tongs. Goes over to this end right there. Click right in. So we might actually save this section too to attach it all. So pretty much we're going to use most of it. We're just going to attach, deattach, and reattach to make it kind of like a pole saw. I'll be back. Alright guys, here we go. So I've got a piece apart. What we're actually going to do, we're going to keep this whole thing the way it is, so we can just put the switch and the battery right back in there. I went out to my scrap pile and I found this handle to a swing set. Or I found what's going to be our handle, and it's from a swing set. So I grabbed a sheet of Galvi. We are going to make a couple plates just to house this guy in, and then be able to fasten, oop, can't see that, fasten the, I don't even know what part of the swing set it is, fasten this here pole to this here motor to make it go vroom vroom. So I'm going to start tracing, cutting, bending, and we'll get back there. Alright guys, girls, here we go. So, I didn't record a lot of the pre-building or the middle of the build, simply because I was out here for hours trying to fabricate, refabricate, make it mix, match, work, that kind of thing. So I'm going to sum it all up in one shorter little segment versus you having to filter through a whole ton of stuff that's completely pointless. So what we ended up doing is, here's the housing with the motor in it, and just bent the galvanized sheet and just pretty much screwed it in right around the house of the motor. Left our little blade lock button there so you can get in there and change blades easier. I ended up using the cover, the safety cover from the saw, as an actual guide. So when you're moving around, if you're pushing along on the ground, this is kind of like a little plate to help you scoot across, and you're not going to jam up the blade, and you're not going to jam up what the blade is attached to. Then what we did, is I welded, or I put a piece of plate steel in there, because this is aluminum, and that way the steel is screwed into this guy. And then I welded a piece of pipe all the way, or onto that plate. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. Welded a pipe onto the plate, and then bent the pole shaft, cut the shaft, and bent it over, and then just threw a moderately crappy weld on there. It's really thin old metal. Like, come on. Anyways, poked a hole in there, ran the wires. This wire is literally from some lamp I found or scrapped or God knows where. So just cut that, ran that all the way up through here. Here's what we ended up doing with this guy. So I just left the whole thing on there because, I mean, it was simplicity. You know what I mean? It's already set up for the battery. You've already got the slot molded for the trigger. I was able to keep the safety switch in there. Whoops. And then I still have to put the piece in right here. I just haven't gotten there yet. I just wanted to do kind of like a finish of the video because it's simple stuff. You know, I'm just going to throw a piece of PVC or something in there. But what I ended up actually doing for this right here is a pain in the butt. Just trying to get the pole to sit inside of the handle properly. So I just sat out here and slowly melted hot glue into my little cup there and just poured it in. And that way the wires are protected from the metal of the pole. And I mean, honest to God, this thing's not going anywhere. I'm kind of impressed, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really think the super glue or the hot glue would hold that well, but it did. This whole thing right here, this whole section, is literally just filled with liquid hot glue. It was kind of dripping out in the end. It was kind of funny, but that's why I was out here for a while. I didn't record all that crap. But there you go. I mean, the saw was one of those kit saws, so it's like you buy the 2 drills, you get a saw for free. The saw never did anything really that well when I first bought it. I think I probably cut like 2 pieces of plywood out in the field with it and just ended up throwing it in a ditch somewhere and then just never used it again. Literally about to throw it away, decided if we could reuse it and see if it would work any better for a different application. And to be completely honest, once I get a new blade on there, it's gonna work pretty well for going out there and just grabbing a few limbs. Nothing crazy. I mean, you're not gonna cut down a forest with it, but for taking something that was a complete piece of junk that you didn't really pay for, and then just throwing some basic, simple parts on it just to pretty much extend the reach of it. I mean, you got a free pole saw. Otherwise, you could go buy Ryobi's new one. I think they're like $150 or something like that. So yeah, just a nice little project. Just wanted to share it with you guys. It's not fancy. It doesn't look great, but it works. We're not going for gold. We're just going for it to work. That's it. Well, guys, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, don't be shy. Other than that, see you in the next one. Alright, everybody, hopefully you can see a lot of this. Here we go, finishing touches. I did a lot of it last night. I didn't record it just because it took me about 5 hours to kind of configure all this and get it all together. I took the original circular saw sleeve that's supposed to protect you from hitting the blade and put it on the very bottom, so it actually is going to act like a skid plate so you can't bottom out the saw and destroy anything. Then I moved the motor forward a little bit more, so you got more edge clearance as far as like getting in tight spots and getting in some of the little branches and all that kind of stuff. Then just ran some wires all the way up the sleeve, welded that bad boy on there. Then in here I ended up using the original handle of the circular saw. I still got to add a piece right here. I just want to get out, make a video real quick because I was coming out here to do some work outside anyways. Right now it's pretty much just filled with a whole lot of industrial hot glue to hold it together. So, but like I said, I wanted to show you guys, get a video made, get something up online. So here, I'll show you what it does. Alright, we're going to do a little bit more up close one so you guys can see what it's doing. Keep in mind, I just realized that I have a dull saw blade on here, so take that into consideration if you decide to do a project like this. That it's not as weak as it looks.